Good morning and welcome. This is Team Gary coming at you, and this is Science in the AM. Shidaka here, and we're taking a look at a new unit, the reproduction unit, mitosis and cell division. We're just jotting down the title, reproduction unit 1, mitosis and cell division. And what is mitosis? Different than halitosis. Mitosis. One cell divides into two identical daughter cells. I'm going to jot that down, and we're going to talk about it a bit before we get into details. We're going to have a little activity now. Okay, reproduction unit. Good morning. And then dash 1. It's the first thing within the reproduction unit, so 1. Mitosis and cell division. That's my award-winning handwriting. I'm really disappointed. I'm going to just pause and get the attendance update. Hands, my fingertips are wet, and this pad doesn't make very well. Okay. Anyways, we are back. Live but recorded. Now, cell division, mitosis is cell division, and they create identical cells. We call them daughter cells. There's no real gender. Just daughters. One becomes two. One cell divides up, becomes two, and there's no real parent to it, because they're both equally split from the same parent. Now, why would you need mitosis? Really, why would you need more cells? Is what I'm asking. I can think of two reasons. Can you? You guys are still growing up. Some of you have probably grown as much as you're going to grow height-wise, but you might grow a little wider, more muscular. Okay? So this is more apparent when you're your age or younger. Why might you need more cells? That's why you need. Why do you need mitosis? Yes. Right. Okay. To grow, we get bigger because we get more cells out of them, right? The number of cells in a baby, when you were a baby, should be smaller than when you are 14. Okay. So why do we need mitosis? No, we don't need a textbook. We didn't need to read about this, right? One is to grow. To get bigger because we have more cells. Right? That makes sense. Okay? Right? I just shut the door. Let's think of another reason, though. Somebody old like me. I'm not wrong. I'm getting taller. Luckily, I've been watching myself. I'm not getting fatter either. Is this anything like that? Very insecure. Well, so I don't want to get bigger. So that's to grow. We get bigger because we have more cells. But what's the other reason that somebody old like me or your people who take care of you or something like that, or you guys in 5 years? What's that? Hey, yes. So, replacement, or sometimes too, just I get an injury or something like this, repair too. Repair and replacement. Perfect. True. So what you're saying is to replace and or repair old cells. I guess I'm saying repair, but they'd just be replaced as well, but damaged cells and stuff. You have some kind of injury. Hey, Lee, you come on in. I'm going to pause the video here. And okay, my next question is, why don't cells get bigger? And I'll tell you this. Largest animal ever on Earth is still, well, on Earth, yeah, part of it is in the ocean. It's the great blue whale, right? They're bigger than dinosaurs and stuff. The size of the whale cells are the same as the size of your cells, more or less. So a great blue whale isn't larger because it has larger cells. Because you could think, why couldn't I just grow because my cells get bigger and bigger? We grow because we get more cells. They're like the little pieces of rainbow. Now, you know that there's things going on in cells, right? What kind of things are going on in cells? You guys have any ideas? Well, essentially, very simply put, the same things that you think of you need on a large scale for your body are the things that you need inside each individual cell. I do that for emphasis. What do you need to do within, after 2 minutes you're starting to get in trouble? Your most immediate need is breathing, oxygen in, and CO2, breathe that out. By the way, most of your breath in and out is actually nothing's happening to it. It's nitrogen. Approximately 80% of the area is nitrogen gas. And that's just fine. If we had more oxygen gas in there, it would be explosive, our atmosphere. Right? Oxygen is flammable. So we breathe in, we take some of the oxygen out of that surface of the lungs. When I exhale, waste CO2 is sent out. The reason why we're breathing in is to get it into our, and we can go through how the systems work, but get it into our lungs and it's sent through the blood system to each individual cell eventually. Tip of my fingers, tip of my toes, ears, etc. There's cells that need oxygen. So that's why you're breathing in and out. And those cells need to get rid of CO2 and that's delivered through the bloodstream, blah, blah, blah. Long story, you can learn about the systems in health science at grade 11. So we need to deliver oxygen to each cell, and we need to get rid of the waste. Now, why don't cells get bigger? Well, let's just think about this. Think of it like a balloon here, and just watch this. You don't have to copy it. I have O2 and CO2 there, just because those are the things. We need the O2 going into the cell. CO2 leaves. And I have, let's say this is the standard size of the cell. It's going to be pretty easy to deliver O2 and CO2. It can go in and out. So the O2 goes in, and the whole cell is pretty small. If I said, okay, but I'm going to grow bigger, and my cell is going to get many times larger. Now, here's the problem. Cells have parts, little organs. We call them organelles within the cell. And it's very similar to the organs you have, like is analogous organs. The mitochondria takes in energy. Anyways, all kinds of processes going on. We're not getting into the details, but look at this. For this oxygen to reach, you're going to need more oxygen in there, right? Because all of a sudden this large size, and remember this is a flat picture of a 3D sphere, really, the cell. Animal cells are spherical in shape. They could be squishy, or like a squish balloon. And the CO2 is going to be building up in here. Now the amount of surface area, is this getting surface area right now, Matt? No, we haven't gotten there either. Anyways. But I'm using some words, that's why. They're math words, but they're related. As you increase the size of that ball, the cell, the size grows larger, quicker, right, than the volume grows quicker than the skin, the outside membrane of the cell. That layer that's like the balloon, the rubber wrap. Okay? So what happens is that this stuff goes through, diffuses through, there's facilitated diffusion, there's words for this. But the ability for this cell to get oxygen to the parts it needs, it grows too fast if you have a larger cell, and it can't keep up. The CO2 won't be leaving at a good rate either, okay? So the problem with cells getting bigger is that for the processes that are used, diffusion, osmosis, and stuff like this, it just doesn't happen quick enough. Okay? So does that make sense? Kind of like, you don't have to copy this down, but I just wanted to mention, because usually a lot of years people do ask, and I kind of, about why don't cells get bigger for elephants and blue whales and stuff like this, or you as you get bigger. I kind of stopped you from asking that because they mentioned it right away that blue whales have the same size cells and all that stuff. Let me just pause here. So I've got some circles. Hang on though, television. I'm going to hand out, actually I'm going to pause that screen. Yep, you got it. I'm going to hand out some pipe cleaners. From year to year, I use different colored pipe cleaners. But, oh, son of a biscuit. There we go. Can you guys just have a space for one parent set? Okay. Now, I don't care if you have a circle on your desktop or whatever. Okay. But just get one set. You're going to still have a set that's sitting up, right? This is what you need right now. Here's the problem. How do we get, this is the parent cell and this is what looks normal. They have, now, I've made this simplified. We have, in ours, you guys know how many sets chromosomes we have? This is the genetic material that carries, you guys have heard about DNA and stuff like this, right? It's all within there. It codes for all kinds of things like hair color, the shape of your nose, your eyes. It also codes for things like how your heart condition and stuff like this, whether you're more susceptible to heart disease and stuff like this. Now, it depends also on your diet, exercise throughout your lifetime. Things like this, your risks of developing some diseases, how tall you're going to be is genetically not predetermined entirely because it depends on your nutrition and stuff like this. Well, anyways, that's awesome. But anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that within these chromosomes, there's a lot of instructions. But does anybody know how many? Okay. Where'd you get 46 from? Oh, did you guys hear this? Because you're right. Now I'm second guessing myself though. I'm gonna just pause here. I'm pretty sure it's 20. To simplify things though, with humans, we have 23 pairs. Now, to simplify things though, for this, I have 2 pairs. And to make them different, I have 2 straight, that's 1 pair, and then 2 bent. That's the other pair, right? And I have them color coded just so you can say, okay, you have 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46. How many came from the mother egg cell for you? You have 46 chromosomes. Half came from mom, half came from a sperm cell, from a dad. Okay? Now, so just to color code it, it doesn't matter which one. Come on in. We've got 2 different colors for those. Okay? So we're saying that this is a chromosome set. Now that's a disappearing, right? And I've just color coded them so you can kind of track. This is a chromosome set, and I've just color coded them. It's okay that your pipe cleaners are different colors, but that's fair. You're going to open up your book. Okay? So here's the problem. How do we go from this parent cell, and if I just try divvying these up right now as is, I do not have identical daughter cells, do I? Something has to happen before we have the cell division, right? What has to happen before the cell division? Because I don't have enough material to make two identical daughter cells, do I? What has to happen before cell division? Come on. What? Next. I can't just divide this up evenly and get two identical cells. I thought maybe you knew. What's obvious, yes. But maybe not sort of, we need to double up everything before cell division even occurs. Does that make sense? So that you can then, okay, there's 4 things to divide up, but we need to double it up for 8 so that I can evenly divide it. Now, some notes, like this is just understanding what the heck is going on here. So there's something called interphase. And I'm going to just put this down here in interphase again. And you're going to start taking some notes. Okay? You're going to put down interphase and draw a little cell. Okay? Okay, what is interphase? I'm going to jot some stuff down about interphase. Interphase is when a cell is not divided. It is in interphase. That's the new word. In this example, we have 2 pairs of chromosomes. Okay? You may know of DNA as that code. Codes for all kinds of things in your body that are genetically mutated. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pause the video while you jot this down. Now, this is still going to be interphase, but we've already mentioned what has to happen in interphase. So your second diagram that you're going to do here is to get ready for mitosis. So this is still in interphase, but you're going to have a new one. By the way, I think you can see, you don't have to draw this at the top. Okay? That's just where I grab my pipe cleaners digital form, right? Okay. Anything in the circle you draw on any other notes. Okay. So within interphase still, to get ready for mitosis, what is mitosis? So just remind me, cell division. chromosomes have to duplicate. Jotting down the words, I'm going to diagram. This is a simplified version of a cell. There's more things in the cell other than just genetic information. They said there's little, sort of like organ systems with you guys, there's organelles, little parts that do little jobs inside there too. So I'm going to just duplicate. Everything's going to double up, and there's a process. But I'm going to just, they don't actually line up like side by side parallel to each other. This just emphasizes that everything is doubled. So that's not, this is gearing up for this cell division. That's not in the regular processes. Temporarily, your body with 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs, doubles up, you have 92 chromosomes. And if that's happening, that means ready for cell division, okay? You're jotting that down too. There's different cells within your body that reproduce more rapidly than others. You know which cells reproduce quite rapidly in your body? Some examples? Just think about it, maybe logically. Because you have differentiated cells, cells with different jobs. A liver cell does different things than heart muscle, hair cells, fingernails, stuff like this. You have cells that do particular jobs. Which ones reproduce quite rapidly? Just think about it. What's that? Red blood cells? Yeah, they reproduce. Which ones don't? And what? This is why older, as I get older and stuff like this, and I'm pointing at my head and stuff like this. I've heard of a stroke and stuff like that, right? Brain cells don't reproduce as rapidly and stuff. And if you have, you guys have all heard of a stroke. Unfortunately, most of you probably have known someone elderly who had a stroke. I guess I'm elderly. I haven't had a stroke, but you know. But then you hear about, oh, their brain needs to rewire different pathways. It doesn't just replace those cells that are damaged. Not like when you get a scab and your skin grows over within the next 3 weeks and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you know. So some cells reproduce quite rapidly. Your fingernails, your hair cells, and stuff like this as they come out. Those are pretty fast. And your skin cells, that's relatively fast. Brain cells, not so much. Okay? Amazing. Anyways. Okay. So we get this. Everything had to duplicate. We've got that down with a second little diagram, right? Interphase, okay. In between the phases of cell division, interphase, think of that. The first stage of mitosis we call prophase. And we'll get this. I guess the double chromosomes match up with each other. And I'll show you how they kind of match up with each other. All right. So I've got the notes already here. And then I'm going to just do the drawing. So, where's my pen? The diagrams look something like that. They're not organized necessarily. Okay. So this is what I mean by matched up with each other. They actually kind of, they get attached. Stuff like this. And so the first stage of mitosis, prophase, thing we're going to focus on is that doubled up chromosomes match up with each other. Okay? I have a little drawing for that. And then I was going to get you to with the pipe cleaners how to do this, but I realize right now our time is running short, so I'm going to pause the video while you're drawing that down. And some word association. You're going to have to memorize these names a little bit. So prophase, phase, first phase, prophase. You're going to get this in your head. First phase of mitosis is prophase. So first, what do you think if you hear the word, someone's a pro? They're good, they're the best. Number one. Okay, so maybe that's not science, but it's word association, because you're going to say, what's the number one stage of mitosis? Prophase. First phase, okay? Then, moving along, the next stage, metaphase. I'm going to get these organized here in the diagram here. You can start drawing for stage 2, metaphase. The chromosomes line up on the equator of the cell. You're going to wait for the drawing, but start doing the words, and then you will draw this. I'm going to just get the drawing organized. So yes, there's still things to do. Okay, I'm just going to get this organized. Yeah, by the scissors. Oh, that one's quite empty. But here.
No, it's not.
Put in. This is what your drawing should look like. Metaphase. The chromosomes line up on the equator of the cell. Now, just like the equator of the Earth, it's that line across the middle, the belt around the Earth that's imaginary. Well, that's the same here. The equator of the cell is the line through the middle. And the chromosomes line up in the middle of the cell. So some word association to help you memorize. First phase, prophase, pro, number one. Metaphase, middle, metaphase. M, alliteration. Meta, middle, meta. Metaphase, and I'm repeating myself, so I'm trying to get it into your head a little bit. And visually, it makes sense. Meta, in the middle, the chromosomes line up on the equator of the cell. That's the middle of the cell, okay? This is where we're going to pause for a second here. Make sure everybody's got it. Then, okay, we're good with metaphase? Okay. We have another phase. You know what I'm going to do though to speed my things up? Copy. I'm going to just paste these and talk about it. After meta, after anaphase, third phase. Analilia, anaphase. Okay. Chromosome strands separate. Chromosome strands separate and move to opposite ends of the cell. And what's going to happen is it's elongated. I have it too large to fit on the screen, but you get that. a global sizing. So this start going that way. This goes this way. This goes this way. Okay. So I'm going to just draw little arrows here, so you know what we're talking. So chromosome strands separate and move to opposite ends of the cell. And because I don't want to cut the video off, I am going to talk about the very last phase, and I realize 4 minutes are fine. We got 4 minutes till the bell rings, so let's shut the door. We'll hear it. We may hear the bell, but the bell is just a reminder for me, the teacher, to tell you guys, oh yeah, we should wrap things up. I'm aware where we're at. You guys have this drawing done? Okay. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to go. 3 minutes left. I don't want to start the video with the very last slide tomorrow before we hopefully do Microsoft. So there's a lot going on in the next one. Once again, I'm going to just do my old copy and paste. And you're going to write down stage 4, telophase. Chromosomes arrive at the opposite ends, and the original cell pinches off, forming 2 daughter cells. Hey, awesome. Let them down. Thank you. Custom delivery. Hello. I'm ordering pumpkins because I have. I'll talk to you later. No. Okay.
Good morning, Balfour Bears. This is just a reminder, grade 10 and 11 students, during PAW, you will be at the gymnasium today. Thank you very much. And teachers, you can head to your huddles. There's a brief curling meeting in Ms. Pearson's room, room 148 at 12:05 for anyone interested in curling. Please attend so that we have an idea of the curling teams this year. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good Tuesday.
There will be. Okay, but I'll just quickly wrap this up. The bell will ring. Telophase. I say it both ways. I don't know. Chromosomes arrive at the opposite ends. The original cell pinches off, forming 2 daughter cells. So this is what we have as a result. Okay, this is 4 phases. I'm going to stop the recording. You guys are going to close your books. Thank you guys for a wonderful class. We'll look at the cells. Hopefully they divide tomorrow.